It is Wednesday, folks, so back to our backbench battle with Labor MP Julian Hill and the Liberal MP Keith Wallahan out of Canberra. It is timely that we've got a couple of Victorians on the program this morning, gentlemen, given the emergency that's gripping the state today. So, Keith, I'll start with you. 500,000 homes without power. Is it old infrastructure, or is this just what happens when it's caught in the line of fire?
I think with all of these things, we've got to do a proper analysis of what happened. Can I just say my thoughts are with those who are immediately affected, and particularly the firefighters who've been involved in this. I understand there was 5 CFA volunteers who had a blowover. I hope they're okay. And it just reminds us all as Victorians how precious our CFA volunteers are and how grateful we are to have them. I think we need to look at the reliability and the resilience of the Victorian energy grid. This is a wake-up call for Victorians and for us here in this place. There is a transition occurring, but is it being done in a way that respects the needs that are here now? And I think we need to do our homework on that.
Okay, we'll come back to that. But Julian, I want to get your thoughts on what Keith was just saying. The Victorian grid, is it vulnerable? Does this prove it?
Well, I'd echo Keith's concern for those affected. There's large swathes of my community that lost power last night in southeast Melbourne, including my office. Actually, the phones were down and the staff. Cars are still there because they couldn't get the gate open to even get their vehicles out, and that was true for many businesses across Dandenong and the region. I'd also send thoughts to the first responders, but also the people out there battling the heat, trying to repair the grid. The scenes that we saw yesterday was a toxic combination, if you like, of storms, of heat waves and bushfires. But those photos of those huge high voltage power line towers knocked down are stunning. I mean, they're stunning visual images, but they show the scale of the destruction of the storms. Unfortunately, this is exactly what scientists have been predicting with accelerating climate change, that we will see more and more of these combination of weather events.
So is the state doing enough? And back to that question, how vulnerable is the Victorian grid?
Well, I think, as Keith rightly observed, we need to take time, firstly, to restore the power. And these storms and incidents have happened before, where we've had major transmission lines knocked out in the state's history. So we need to focus on restoring the power and then examine exactly what happened and whether there's any lessons to be learned. But to be very clear, the grid stability issues were caused by extreme weather events. That's the information that's come to hand so far.